well because
But I thought there was a very good chance that you had a big flush draw. And it might go check, check. Of course, then the club came. They're like, oh, it's not very well.
No.
It's definitely not a flush draw.
Felt like you had a flush draw.
I didn't anticipate a
Felt like you had a flush draw.
Back once again.
Okay, well, that kind of ends the hand either way.
They're chatting away.
For sure, for sure.
Do you play differently because you're
Joseph really wants Digital Dan to know something.
With 200, I wish.
Just was like, hey, is my breath okay?
I remember
I legitimately
being
just thought he was trying to. He thought I had like ace queen or something like that. He was trying to make a play at me.
Yeah.
But that's
There's Johnny Vibes.
That's a good spot.
Looking nonplussed.
Don't be a 6 or a 5 actually.
Yeah.
You can have a 3 or a pair of 4.
With the king 7, this would be a 3-bet or a fold.
It's a call.
But it's a call.
It's like Bill Cole.
It is almost exactly like Bill Cole from the
From a classic breakdown hand.
2013 WSOP main event, I
Yeah.
believe.
And Wonka with a reasonable call in the big blind.
Bill Cole against Mark Newhouse, small blind. Calls the king 7, works out. Let's see if it'll work out this time.
I think Johnny's just going to win this hand if he decides to
He
continue.
may not continue on a 9-9-3 board.
He does check.
That's pretty reasonable. And there you go.
That's why you do it.
Bill Cole Memorial 7 on the turn. Now, Mark Newhouse called Bill Cole's bet on the river with ace high when Bill Cole had, I think, at least top 2.
I wasn't contemplating
In a spot where Bill Cole always had to have it.
Yeah, so I don't think...
Johnny's going to call with jack high? You think it's possible? I mean, he could on the turn because he has a gut shot now.
I don't expect him to, but we'll see. But it
he's
looks like
gonna
Johnny
bet.
is going to bet.
He's going to bet because he has a gut shot.
This is a super easy call here for Wheel. And it's like, okay. A lot of draws.
Wonka
Maybe
could
a
raise.
7.
Wonka could rep a
I-
9 better than either
I
of the other
love
guy.
Wonka raising right there, but he can't do it too often, and he knows that. It's going to brick out. Wonka would have actually made the best hand.
What if he raised, got called, and then bet for value on the river with the
Yeah.
queen? That would have been fun.
Super sweet. Wheel's going to check.
The queen should be better for Johnny than for Wheel most of the time.
But it's sort of like means he bet a random king queen on the turn, right?
Which is possible because they
Yeah.
both checked to him twice.
Yep.
And he's going to go for a big bet,
Ooh.
250.
250 into 190, and Wheel calls instantly.
Oops.
Look at Johnny's face.
7s and 9s with the king.
Well, don't mess with this guy. Bama forever.
Wheel is not in the mood to fold, it looks like.
Johnny really took a blow that time.
Yeah.
That was
It's like this guy called me with king 7?
I
Of the
mean-
small blind?
pretty good. I kind of love the overbet. It should fold out a lot of 7s. It did not.
I like it.
No, it was bad. I was like, I need to bet a sizing where he'll fold a 7.
Well, underestimating the power of a kicker. 7-4 folds in.
I was like, let's overbet the pot. That way he'll just fold a 7. Snap.
Well, no,
It kind of worked out that way,
It
yeah.
was your breathing.
My breathing?
Fold. Fold.
I know that's a joke.
I thought it was because of the color of your jacket, but
I think he was just like, sweet, I win even more money when I'm good.
Raise to 30.
yeah.
Always bad when the hand you're targeting calls.
Yep. I don't think Wonka's going to fold this one. He's probably going to 3-bet it.
This is almost always a 3-bet from the small blind.
Raise.
Yep, he calls out raise.
115 to fold.
Raise to 115.
Don't imagine Johnny defending ace
No, this is
9
an
here.
easy fold.
He is in position, but come on.
Maybe it was a bad call.
No, it was a bad bet.
I think he's considering a 4-bet perhaps.
Yeah, because he knows he looks like maybe he's tilting from the
Right.
last hand, and he's not. He's just playing his hand. And he does have a blocker. It'd be a reasonable 4-bet here. I kind of love it, actually, but I don't think it's a bad idea when it looks like you might be tilting to not take a...
That's not the good time to 4-bet.
Yeah.
The reason why it was a bad bet is because what I thought wasn't true. Right?
I thought I could get you full of 7, but I was wrong.
Exactly. which makes it a bad bet.
But a wheel called so quickly.
Yeah. I don't think Johnny's right, though. I think it was an interesting, probably good bet.
Yeah. I think it was a
don't
good
know.
bet.
I don't know if it's a great representation of trips or better, but he could be playing a queen like that because Wheel definitely doesn't have trips in his range the way he played it.
Almost ever, yeah. Like
Yeah.
Johnny looks like he can have ace queen there a lot,
Yeah.
right? Ace queen or even king queen probably play it just he could make that bet.
Definitely.
You could ask yourself, hoping to be called by what?
A
Sort of come up
7, I
with things.
guess.
Yeah, that's the problem.
That's the problem with all of these poker
Yeah.
thoughts, you know?
And here's wheel with the ace-8 of diamonds.
Raise to 30.
Wonka's got a set minor. He could 3-bet. I kind of like
Oh, yeah.
3-betting these spots,
I like 3-betting.
especially in position.
Why not isolate and have a hand that's going to be actually have good equity? Now he's playing it really just for the set. Now it turns out he wasn't going to successfully isolate because at least one, if not both, these guys in the blinds were going to call the 3-bet. I can tell you, we've seen these guys play.
Yeah, that's not because of their hands. It's because
Right.
of who they are and the fact that they have hands that are reasonable.
Yep.
Now, this is a good flop for wheel.
Yeah, it really is. He's probably just going to take it down right here. I don't know who's going to.
Wonka's not going to
Defend.
call.
Nope. I mean, how is Blake going to call?
We've seen Ken do stuff.
Ken might call once. Ken sometimes will call once here. I don't think it's advisable out of position, Ken, but you destroy worlds and I don't, so whatever.
Blake is reeling a bit over the past couple episodes. He's had some struggles, and it looks like he's going to take those struggles out on wheel at a bad time. He's raising.
This is the kind of board that is better for Blake's range than for Wheel's range.
Hold on a sec, Jonathan, and shut up and look at Ken. He hasn't folded.
Whoa. Sorry, it never occurred to me that. Whoa, 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 whoa.
What is Ken doing?
Whoa, Ken
He
is
calls?
Ken is calling the
That is the
195.
worst option.
Well, maybe he's got plans for later.
Fold or 4-bet or 3-bet, Ken.
He often has plans for later in the hand.
Come on, you have to 3-bet if you're going to put chips in the pot.
You don't have to do anything.
That's true.
He can rep something later. He can raise later. I am shocked.
This is absurd.
It never occurred to me that Ken would call there. I was busy just talking
He
about
has
Blake's raise.
1 back door and 2 overs,
In fairness, everything's good if he hits it.
and he looks pretty strong, but that,
I mean, Wheel normally, I mean, I would have folded if I was Wheel at this point. I'll tell you what.
I mean, it is Blake and Ken.
Yeah. What are you going to do on the turn with this hand?
Cry.
Yeah.
Ooh, Wonka.
Wonka would have got there.
You fool.
Look at Wonka's face.
He's just like trying to figure out how strong they are and if he would be ahead, I think.
Yeah. Everyone checks. He's got to hate that.
Wheel probably needs to bet again,
Yes.
even though the action went the way it does. Now that Ken checks and Blake checks, I think Wheel needs to bet.
He checks, though. He's not sure where he is. He can bluff catch, I guess, a lot on the river.
That's a great card for
Ooh,
Wheel. He
Wheel's
makes the wheel.
Yeah.
There's not too many 6s in his opponent's ranges. Now, Ken could have the nuts, but it's really unlikely.
Blake could have 6-8, but you'd expect him to bet that a lot on the river. Wheel's going to bet for value, but there's no value to be had.
No, he could maybe get value from a set.
I tell you what, Wonka could have lost a lot of money in this pot, but he folded the flop.
Well, it was reasonable to fold the flop for
Of
sure.
course it was, but I'm saying, like, certainly he could have lost a lot of money on this pot.
Is Blake thinking about raising?
Well, you can't be thinking about calling, right?
He's going to raise.
This is interesting raise. I don't hate this raise at all.
He's repping the nuts that
He can
checks
have a-
twice.
He can have a 6. No, he could just have 6-5 or 8-6. He does stuff like that.
I mean, Wheel bet's super tiny if you notice. He bet
Yeah.
100, so.
Wheel looks very unhappy, as he should be.
But I think when you bet 100, you have to call this bet.
I mean, you don't have to do anything.
Okay, when you bet 100 and Blake raises
And
you,
he does call.
You win.
That's a bluff?
nice hand for Wheel. Just over 14K in the pot. The turn is the 4 of diamonds.
Hey, what is that? Speaking of turn, coming around the mountain? Is
Oh.
that the Nitrogen Sports Poker Train?
I think they did buy a train recently.
If you listen, you can hear its very familiar jingle. And choo-choo. Wait, there's the jingle. Nitro, nitro, nitro. Nitro, nitro, nitro.
Wow, that's the weirdest ad ever all of a sudden. Anyway, Nitrogen Sports Poker Room is, they let us do ads like this.
They
perhaps
do.
because they don't listen to them.
Free reign, baby. Nitro, nitro, nitro. Nitro, nitro, nitro.
Yeah. I mean, this is where everybody.
Oh, we're
wants to
back.
go, right?
We've seen some relatively random play just recently.
That was a pretty random ad. Still, I've run for a little while now, but it still freaks me out every time I see
No,
it.
it's part of the
I'm
cultural
locked-
lexicon
I'm
at this
locked up with
point.
$100 loss,
Lexicon, huh? That's what you're going with? Lexicon?
Lexus? Cultural Lexus?
That's better.
The one we all share?
Yeah.
Big SUV.
Digital Dan, ace 10 suited.
Raise to 30.
Let's not forget that. People have been trying to bluff wheel lately, and boy, it has not been working.
That
He is
stack is
holding on.
That stack is going up.
Yeah. And now he's got aces.
Well, that's nice. And
Yep.
he sizes it the same as when he was light 3-betting.
Well,
which is
that's good.
Good, yeah.
At least.
I prefer a bigger size in general, but this is, at least he's consistent.
Yep.
And Dan, of course, can't fold ace 10 suited.
Must call, but really could get himself in some trouble here.
Wheel likes to say he puts his hood on when he has aces, and it seems to be true.
Whole lot of nothing burger there for digital. What?
Whoa.
What did he just do?
He went all in because he doesn't like money.
I don't understand. What?
What just happened?
I don't know. What happened?
You mean
He didn't want to see a top card.
What? He shoved $2,000 into a pot of $160, $175.
So he's getting called if he's beat.
Blake didn't force
Yes.
that to
Is
protect
Dan
him.
calling with queens? I don't think so. I've seen Dan fold queens in this kind of a
Also,
spot.
he's 4-betting queens some of the time.
Yeah, and kings he would have 4-bet almost certainly. I think Dan is literally folding every hand that isn't beating Wheel there. Wow.
And it was a paired board, and Wheel 3-bet small. Dan could have trips.
Dan could have trips. Dan certainly could have overpairs that can call normal size bets twice.
Yeah.
Maybe
You know
3
what? I did see the
times.
episode with this guy
Wow.
on it.
Clear enough.
Wow, that was unusual.
Probably not advisable.
He's the reason why I contacted Jonathan. Right?
I believe that.
I believe that. Yeah.
You thought he was going to be the designated donkey today.
Hold on.
Believe that.
What are you doing over there? Sorry. All right, I'm gonna make it 50 just in case. What are you doing? What'd you have over there? Oh, you were gonna make it 50 too, huh?
Yeah. I'm gonna fold.
What the heck?
He can't make it 50.
I thought you were limping actually.
Johnny saying the reason that he contacted us to play on this game is for plays like that.
He's
after
right.
he saw what Wheel just did.
Can't blame him. By the way,
He's just saying it in Wheel's face.
speaking of that, BMW Blake calling with the jack deuce off.
That's another reason to contact us if you want to play on Poker Time.
Is that true? It really says that.
We're gonna get to destroy.
Great flop for Johnny.
It's like
Blake with the overcard and the gutter.
That is a minor.
Easy continue here on the sweat board.
80.
Bet 80.
And we know Blake's not going to fold.
0% chance Blake folds. He also has the deuce of spades as a little bit of backup. Make that flush, baby.
All in.
I was going to say, I don't think.
Oh, Johnny just put in a blind bet, it looks like, in the top left of your screen there. He just basically put Blake all in.
Wow,
Blake
that's-
has technically a combo draw.
Yeah, he can't call.
Johnny doesn't love the spade coming, but happy to see the fold.
Gotta breathe a sigh of relief. I do not like that play by Johnny at all.
Neither do I.
It's the only thing Johnnie Vibes has done so far in this session that I haven't liked. Actually, I think he's played fantastically well, but that seemed really bad. Like Blake should, if Blake is on a draw, he's gonna call every time he gets there, and he's gonna fold every time he doesn't. And you're paying him off. You're giving way too much money.
It could be a metagame thing. He could see the game opening up here and saying, like, I'm the guy who's going to give action too. Go
Yeah.
ahead and shove 2K into me when there's 160 in the pot.
How about waiting till the brick comes and then shove it? And then
Okay.
you still look like a crazy action guy, right?
Not as much as if you do it blind.
Well, that's true.
Pocket aces, but I had the best hand.
Well, I told you ace high was good, so.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Confident that was the best hand.
The 9 comes, Blake makes a straight. He's not folding, and that's the only. And that's now. I guess he could get Blake to fold the jack if a jack came exactly.
This is not a response at all to my metagame comment.
No, I'm talking about other things.
Yeah, stop it.
Why?
Because
I already responded to your metagame comment. I already agreed with you.
Johnny Vibes has a camera. He's going to say bad things about you if you say bad things about him.
Bring it on, Johnny.
Just stop doing that, man. It's hell.
Stuart getting in on the action. This is the loosest call Stuart's made all day, but it is only for 25.
And he's on the
We already
button.
all know that. There's no
And look how well he's doing. By the way, Blake, second time in a row with Jack Deuce off.
He loves that hand, I guess.
What is happening?
Dan called.
There's the Jack and the Deuce.
Easy game.
Gut shot for Stuart.
Jack deuce, yeah.
I don't imagine. I think Blake's going to bet big and Stuart's going to fold. That's
He
my
bets
guess.
normal. Stuart's going to call once in position.
Bet 70.
Well, let's play in turn, please.
I did not
Nope, Stuart folded.
saw Stuart call 3.
Pay attention to that.
Wheel thinking. Does have the ace of diamonds. He's got 2 back doors.
Wheels like everything's working for me.
Yeah.
Maybe I should just go all in. Now it would be
would
for a
not.
lot less because Blake only has 645 behind.
I will say it would not work this time.
It would not, unless he went diamond.
Oh,
Oh,
he
Wheel
does.
has showed the ace of diamonds.
You're allowed to do that in this game. You can show one or both cards and keep playing once your head's up.
Oh, and Blake shows a deuce.
Oh, that's great. Thing is, now it looks like Wheel has the flush draw, And Blake has a pair. I don't know, man.
Flop leg.
Will did not have a flush draw. Will had nothing.
Totally misread you.
It's all
I
very
thought that
strange.
you were gonna lock it up this last hour.
Still, I'm glad someone decided to show a card.
What's that?
Well, Blake showed a card before.
Yeah,
against Digital Dan.
I'd like to see it all the time.
I am. I'm trying to lock it up right now.
It's always interesting.
They're just not over here. I got locked. They're getting locked up from where they're at right now.
Blake is in a very good mood despite having quite a downswing over the past couple hours of the session. It's good to see.
It's either
Yeah.
gonna be 0 or
It's a
about
cheery
7.
guy for the
Yeah.
most part.
One of the two things.
1700. Okay. Yeah, I've seen it.
I just didn't want to give you any more good prices.
I'm all good with that. Yeah. You didn't want to go Jonathan on me. Yeah, I got you.
In fact, I did it already.
Wheels feeling his oats. He wasn't playing these hands in early position earlier in the session.
Well, he's won a few pots now. He's got money. He's up for the session for sure.
Make that 20,000 and more.
He's making it 25. This seems to be the new size that Wheels is choosing to make. As if it's a tournament, 2.5x.
I'm fascinated to see. Okay, Blake called with 7-6 off, which is for him
Amazing.
pretty darn good.
Joseph's got ace-5 of clubs. I would consider raising that with the way the table's
I mean,
playing.
Wheels opening under the gun. He hasn't been doing that.
But
enough,
Wheels
I think.
sizing is a bit transparent.
Well,
Jonathan. He
okay.
often will size bigger with a big hand. Well, there's a lot of 8-6s out there.
The 3-8-6. All the 6s are gone.
And they
gut
all
shots
flop a
for
gut
everyone.
shot. And Blake flops an open ender, and Joseph flops a 5.
Okay.
Wheels got the backdoor flush draw.
Got 500.
I think Joseph's going to have to call once, even though there are players behind him.
65.
No.
He decides against it.
Oh, Dan put his hood
Probably
on.
if there was at least one club on the board, he would call.
Dan left his hood on from the time that Wheel put his hood on. Does he know?
No.
Ooh, Dan looks like he's reaching deep.
Oh, he's check raising the gut shot.
175.
There's no way Blake's going to fold.
Dan can rep sets here pretty easily. It says Dan's all in. That's not true.
Yeah. Blake could have just shoved there with his, but Digital Dan's tight enough that,
Dan could have 4 or 5. Dan could have sets. Dan could have queen X of diamonds.
and Dan is rarely raising a bunch of his other stuff. He's rarely raising straight draws.
Now, that's a great card for Dan because it completes all of the hands that Dan is more likely to have than Blake when Blake doesn't re-raise.
Oh, is there?
If Dan decided to raise top pair, which we've seen Dan do before, this is a spot where he might continue. If Dan raised a flush draw, he would certainly be in good
does
shape here.
move in here.
And Blake just simply can't call.
Yeah. Actually, Blake has the worst hand.
Yeah, by the way, Blake had 16% equity
Yeah.
against Dan's hand.
How about that?
What if Blake called and Dan won with 8 high? That would have been great.
It would have been memorable, to say the least.
And Diane.
I mean, I would have called you with a 3 diamond. Yeah.
And there's another one.
Nice.
There's like 6 of us.
Nice play by Dan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's about half an hour.
There are not very many women.
You know what we haven't seen a whole lot of yet?
People eating cake at the table.
That's true.
That's what you were thinking, right?
Doesn't really matter.
Okay, what? What?
Wonka's up here with the old 10-4.
You're just going to leave us all in
Yep.
suspense?
I'm going to leave y'all hanging for a while.
Man.
Don't worry, it's going to pay off big time later. All right, so Blake just lost last hand, so in theory that means he's playing any 2 cards,
Yep.
and we don't know what he has yet.
It
but
says Blake folded, but
that is not true.
Don't believe that to be the case.
And King 7 off.
That's, it's king.
Yep, it's a medium king. Stuart raises to 50 with the Jack 8.
I like the idea of raising when Blake loses a pot and then limps.
Yep.
It's not a bad idea with almost any hand, but Joseph knows exactly what's going on and 3 bets.
Yeah, I love it. Good job, Joseph.
Great job by Joseph. Oop!
Oh, bad
terrible
job, Joseph.
Joseph.
What are you doing?
Joseph is a fool.
Just call there, Joseph. You're burning $90. Let's see how much Johnnie Vibes
Oh,
makes.
he did the hood thing because Wheel says he always puts the hood on when he has aces. Johnny, the camera lens, the cap is on it.
600.
You can't.
He makes it 600. Whoa.
Well, this is going to end matters most of the time.
That is a really big raise. He's trying to get Joseph committed to this pot, I think. He doesn't want Joseph to just call.
Tell you what, those aces aren't going to be on his vlog because his camera cap's on. Lens is covered.
This is a pretty easy spot here for Joseph.
Yeah, I don't think you can call here.
No way. No way.
You can 5-bet if you don't believe him, but that's a very high variance play.
Has Johnny Vibes put in has shown us any?
Yes.
Really?
He's 3-bet light a bunch of times.
This is a 4-bet.
I know.
It's a cold 4-bet.
Right, but it is more rare.
And when you say 3-bet light a bunch of times, maybe once or twice, right?
I think it's 3 or 4 times.
I don't think so. He shows an ace. He's hoping Joseph has ace king, I think, right now. Or like kings or queens, and just so it's easy to put him on ace king.
Did Johnny look at his hand before he showed one? It's pretty indicative if he didn't.
Yeah, I agree.
Joseph shows an ace as well. I don't think he needs to do that.
See the way Johnny did that, like, oh, well, geez.
Well, at least I know it's.
I love the Wild West rules.
Yeah, me too. This is great.
I folded Joseph. So fun.
Joseph folds, as he really has to.
It's a good fold.
I had 40% of a royal flush.
Ace queen.
I have ace jack of hearts.
Johnny says ace queen.
Really? God damn it.
It's not ace
It's
queen.
because I put a
never ace
fucking hood
queen.
on.
It's never ace queen.
You know, that's itself.
It's like it's so
I
easy
told
to
you.
show.
I don't know that Johnny needed to make it 600, but it probably didn't matter.
Makes it 400. Joseph's probably calling.
Like I was behind.
But would he ever make it 400 with anything but aces?
He could make it 450 with everything.
Yeah.
It's pretty fine. So Ken, by the way, big winner, no surprise. He always wins.
Stuart having a rough one. Digital Dan having a rough one. And Blake.
Yep. They are the guys who are throwing the party, as we say.
It's kind of a rude way to say it.
Yep.
It's like calling somebody a customer.
Nice hand.
It is like that. Sammy Farah used to do that all the time.
Most
Yeah.
of them are not a good one. Most of them are not.
Turns out Sammy Farha was the biggest customer of them all.
Yeah, everyone kind of knew that at the
Yeah,
time.
I think so.
There's no room for interpretation there.
That way he's not screaming out, I go both ways.
I go both ways all night, all night.
Sammy Farha had Ken and Blake ranges in a 400-800 game.
Called a
Yeah.
combo draw, sir.
Well, not that bad, but close.
I mean, he
He didn't play, Jack deuce off. He played king seven.
yes, he did.
Man,
I've been rewatching high stakes poker. Trust me.
you're never gonna fold
Anyway.
this when I show an ace. Check.
Nobody with anything here.
Check.
It was
They're
so weird. I
looking for
felt
a
like
chip washer if
even
you
before I
want to
raised
ask
that.
Brian for
That's a good card for both Blake and Wheel.
Yeah. Wheel should bet this. He's going to.
Of course, he has 0 fold equity against Blake, and he shouldn't.
Is that $20?
Yes.
Well,
It's only a pot of 50, so
yeah, it's fine. Like, a lot of time, everyone's just going to fold when he bets.
I've made quite a few
And
mistakes.
he misses badly. He should bet again, but it's really not going to work.
Blake might put him on quads and fold.
But I like this play by Wheel. It looks like he is reaching to bet. Wait.
Oh,
What?
he lost heart
Yeah.
at the right
You got to
time.
take a shot here,
I've seen
man.
a few mistakes at the
Blake can have an 8. He can have a 9 and hate his life.
He did bet. We don't know how much, but
Whatever it is, you can just consign it to oblivion right now.
Blake is raising and Wheel is folding,
Yeah.
and that's that.
Let's watch Wheel's face when he gets the bad news. There it is.
raise to 230.
His face did not change, actually.
No, he's like, well, I was losing anyway. It doesn't matter. He's pretending it's a tough decision.
Pretending he has a 7 or something.
What a dick move.
Wait, hold on a second. Hold on.
No real value in that tank, but people do it.
Obvious.
Do anything on your open or no?
Nope. Obvious.
He's trying to preserve his image for the rest of the session.
Ace-8. Come on,
That's the
Ace-8.
value.
I suppose.
I don't know why he needed to do it, though. If he's not calling, it means he doesn't have a 10.
Yeah.
What?
That means I'm playing all right then.
But we have a camera. So
What'd
we
you
can read his lips later. It's fine.
Come on, just tell us. We can read lips anyways. I love that he's so aware that
Maybe it's one card different.
I forgot that I had
His
my
doesn't even
phone
have a top
a
card.
long
Look
time
at that.
Yeah, he lost the cover.
And I think
His
Ken was the one that lost it. I
children
think
will
originally,
watch
right?
this.
Yeah,
They
Ken.
don't-
Ken's the one that lost it.
I didn't. It wasn't.
Oh no,
playing
no!
lost.
But we found it in the bathroom. That's right.
Yeah, fell out.
They threw it away. Yeah.
It's like the din of a heroin den over here before they do the heroin.
Oh, okay.
Ken with ace deuce suited, that's a hand he's going to play under the gun. Can guarantee it.
Is that the Cajun accent?
Yes, it was.
Have you recently watched Hard Target?
No.
With Jean-Claude Van Damme?
No, the princess and
Where the homeless are hunted by the rich,
the princess and the frog, man.
and then Jean-Claude Van Damme punches a snake in the face?
Is he really?
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of cool. Does he kick a cigarette out of the snake's mouth also?
I think he might. I mean, he grabs the snake by the neck and then punches it in the face.
Spades would be real bad for BMW here. But nothing to worry about. He flops a pair.
Which is a bad pair, but it's not a pair he's going to fold, I'm pretty sure.
Not for one bet. Unless Ken sizes it insanely, which sometimes he will do, but wow.
This is a flop that Ken could check back, by the way. It's a pretty bad flop for his hand, and it's pretty good for Blake's range in general.
Ken likes to take shots. He took one shot. Let's see if he gives up. Yep. Quick check. Okay, never mind. Check. I was going to say, hard on the river, Ken could take a shot to win, but now he's not even going to try. He's got ace high. That could be good once in a while.
Yeah, Blake could have the king of hearts or something.
Yeah, or a 10.
I feel like we're not
But
even.
like, if you have a good video with terrible audio, I'll like automatically turn it off instantaneously.
Yeah.
Ken just swigs that beer.
Like, it's fine. I'll get him back later, kid.
Take the pain away.
Most of the like post-production editing work that you do on your videos, is it mostly the video component or the audio component? Like which is more,
So really getting into
maybe Stuart wants to start vlogging.
So the audio is easy, but it's just like one button basically.
I feel like Stuart should be not thinking about doing poker vlogging, more like making a murderer type shows.
Not up all night.
It goes both.
I could see him as a documentarian.
Yeah,
We've given Stuart a lot of professions over the course of this session.
indeed.
I think documentarian fits best, though.
Raise to 40. Fold.
Like voiceover videos are super annoying because I'll do the voiceover and then I'll talk for like 5 minutes on one hand.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, I need to get this down to 45 seconds. So now I'm like
Fold.
cutting down 5 minutes into 45 seconds, you know, which takes too much time.
Yeah.
Did Stuart raise? I called.
Wonka just calling with the ace-2 suited. He's often going to 3-bet that.
Although Stuart did raise under the gun.
Yeah.
So reasonable to not put in an aggressive action here.
Agreed. And they are deep enough that this is a very reasonable call.
5 players to the floor.
No kidding.
Jack on the flop is good for
Vibes.
Johnny Vibes.
Open ender for Ken. Top pair for Blake as well.
And Stuart's got 2 overs and a gut shot.
To the nuts. Yep. A lot going on for these people. Also the queen of spades, which is the best spade. Stuart's just going to fold.
With 2 spades on the board and a bunch of players behind, I
He
understand.
did have the queen of spades in his hand. in
Yeah,
fairness.
but he didn't have 2 of them.
Johnny Vibes puts in the raise right away with top pair. Whoa.
I mean, I understand against these ranges.
Yep.
He's trying to isolate one of the guys and probably have the best hand most of the time.
I would expect he's going to be able to successfully iate neither of these guys.
No,
I
they're
expect
both going to
of them
call. Or did Blake just go all in?
He just moves in. Now Ken is not going to be able to call.
I mean, we've seen Ken do things.
No. I fully expect Ken to fold here. Ken calls when there's stuff behind, when there's moves to be made. He can't make a move now.
He can make a straight.
Actually, he could make a move against Vibes, I guess, later, but it'll be into a dry pot with 10 high, so
540.
assuming he misses. He can make a straight.
I don't
thinking
imagine
about it.
I don't imagine Vibes is folding unless Ken re-raises.
Right. No, there's no way Vibes is making 300 and folding for a shove of 740. There's 0% chance. Let's see how quickly he
Do I
calls.
need to hit my kicker?
He's already called.
Yep.
So yes, I need to hit my kicker.
I don't know. I have a queen jack.
You're ahead.
You guys got to roll.
On poker time, the rule is you must show your hand.
And there it is.
No superstitions allowed.
I want to see a queen.
Ace is
Doesn't change anything.
not a card of any type.
Yeah,
And it
six
does
comes in.
change. It does
Wow.
change things, in fact, because now it's a chop.
Yeah.
So the ace did change it.
Well, it wasn't supposed to.
Johnny Vibes is pretty good at not looking like he hates everybody when things like that happen.
Yeah. That's true. He looks a little bit unhappy right
Yeah.
there, actually, with his mouth and the way he's breathing. We've all been there, Johnny. We know. What are you going to do?
This is how they get us. That's what we think.
But Johnny Vibes, super classy, super friendly. Really good presence at the table, by the way.
Yeah.
And
Just doesn't know how to take the cap off his camera
I love the
lens.
games where you
Yeah.
can
Good for
increase the
vlogging.
value with a jack and a queen kicker. And just snap get it in. It's like no fear. It's like, yep.
where that raise accomplished everything Johnny wanted, too. He got rid of the draw and got it in against the
Yeah.
dominated hand.
It worked out great.
Perfect.
I'm just saying, that's a good game. You know?
sure,
It's fun to play in a game like that.
No, I hear you, man.
Fold. 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 Fold.
What's stopping you?
Like real hand alert.
I mean, he should get some action. Ken calls. Stuart probably doesn't have much of a hand based on how he flipped his chip in there. Ken, of course, has 9 deuce.
And Stuart with the ace.
Stuart
seven
actually has a
hearts.
reasonable hand.
Yeah.
3 players.
Ken flops a flush draw. You can't see his hand right now, but he does have the 9
But
deuce
it's
of
real.
clubs.
We promise.
The audacity of that guy.
That's 90.
Blake bets 90. There's no way Ken's folding, of course.
0%.
He really cannot fold.
And things just keep going poorly for Stuart. Just can't make
Yeah.
a hand. Oh, Stuart.
Why did you say that?
'Cause he would have made an ace.
But he can't call.
I know.
There's nothing to do there. Blake is going to fire a second bullet here. That ace is better for him for sure than for Ken. It looks like he's going to fire a second bullet, I should say.
So this is the intention of charging the flush draws and potentially getting Ken off a jack, although I don't believe Ken would fold a jack.
9-10 can also fold here.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think he
But
is
we
trying
blocked
to get...
9-10, obviously.
Yeah, we do. Big time.
And Ken's going to call. I think
Yeah.
this is a bit loose.
It's hard to argue. Let's see if Ken always gets there, though. Let's see if he gets there again. No.
No, Blake really gets there this time.
Ken doesn't get there. I don't know what to do with myself.
Blake is going to get no action, unfortunately for him.
Backdoor diamonds comes in, but Blake shouldn't be too afraid of that.
All
He's gonna
in,
bet.
snap
He
fold.
doesn't have very much money. It's a pretty easy shove here. 490 into a pot of about 900.
Ken's
800.
considering calling.
Like shows.
I think I was ahead before that, but yeah.
You were.
So you're a true
You want a big club draw, right?
True.
It's like, if you're going to give me a 10, don't make it a club. Oh, that worked.
Ken claimed he was on a big draw. I don't know if that's true.
Yeah, I mean, you know, a little draw is like a backdoor draw, or like a gutter, I guess. Those are the little draws. I mean, I don't know, man. Let's just let it go.
Big draw sounds like at least a flush draw and a gut shot to me.
Ken's still the big winner with about up 2,000. Stuart and Digital Dan making it possible for everyone else to pay their babysitters. Go to the movies this weekend.
It's kind of, you're just so rude about the way you phrase the people who are down.
I could say worse things.
You could.
I choose not to.
Equity, so.
She does not have equity, but I think if they were going to sell, they would give her equity.
Ace-9 for wheel.
She's the best friend.
It's a limp.
Okay.
Like 10 points, yeah.
And Blake's going to raise up the ace-7 suited. I got to tell you, it makes sense to me.
It does.
I get that. And Ken's coming along on the button with a suited hand.
It is a hand, and it is suited.
Really fast. Like in 3 years, they went from.
Suited like Al Pacino and the Devil's Advocate.
Nice.
I could see them going to 50 employees in the next 2 years.
And like Keanu.
50 to 100 employees.
I'm a lawyer. That's what I do. Frickin' terrible movie. Okay, so here we go.
3 players.
What was that? I'm sorry, San Diego?
So where was she based out of?
San Diego.
Wheel knows when to limp. Look at that. And Blake has an ace. This is going to be bad for Blake.
Blake has 1.3K though. This shouldn't be too bad.
I mean,
They're
Blake
deep enough.
Blake rarely has top pair. He's gonna go nuts, right?
Well, he certainly is betting here, and that's reasonable. Although it is a dry board, but I would bet this too.
I love the internet trolls that they comment about how
Remember? I do.
she's going to leave me because I'm a loser, a poker player, and all this other stuff.
Did Wheel just say every time?
He said every time and shook his head as if he was annoyed at Blake betting so much. That's what just happened.
Ah, Wheel.
He puts in the raise. Blake cannot call fast enough.
I mean, he only min raised.
Okay.
But the every time
Okay.
thing, the every time thing is kind of a clear
I
tell.
was like, somebody actually thinks that.
Well, now Blake has the nut flush draw.
Yeah.
But after a while, I was like, I don't really
How much? How deep? We're still pretty deep.
Yeah.
And Wheel goes all in for twice the pot.
And Blake
No,
snapped.
no.
Did he snap?
Wait.
He did. Yeah.
He
there's
called
his
right
chip.
away. Wow.
Well, Blake has more outs than he did on the flop.
Yeah. No, that was okay card. 5
Oh,
outs,
but he
and
bricks it.
That is that.
And Wheel now might be the big winner in the game.
Wow. Huge pot out of nowhere. And that is going to do it for this edition of Poker Time. We'll see you next Tuesday for another one.